In update 48, Ninja Kiwi has changed Polyphemus so that balloons now orbit around the eye before they go to the exit. But let's do a challenge in which we've done a few times on the channel already. Can we get every single tier 5 submarine in the eye, but only use those 3 towers? And luckily, because the first submarine is discounted to 300, we can then place a second one inside the eye as well, which is why you see me starting with 2 submarines. Submarine number 3. And that's all of the towers in which we are going to place down for the entirety of the video. Right, let's get some barbed darts on one of them, and I hope that, okay, we'll go to twin guns with another one, and let's see what we can do after that. I'm hoping to be able to have some reserve so that we can keep the eye open at all times, because every time a round ends with 6 occurs, the eye closes. Now, before update 48, a balloon would simply start from one side of the map and go all the way around to the exit, but now it has to circle around the eye before it can continue its journey, making it a more suitable map for the difficulty of intermediate. Here we go, the eye closes, we've got some money in reserved, and I think we'll go to airburst darts with one of these, just to have that bit more firepower. We're not going to think about heat tip darts just yet, although that is definitely needed because round 28 exists, but we need 1,000 when round 26 occurs, although we're going to get another one of these up to a... keep on at 011, this one's at 012. We're definitely going to need the... you know what? We're going to have enough money for heat to open up the eye back up on round 26. So we get heat tip darts so that we are definitely ready for round 28. Round 26, done and dusted. Also added in update 48, a 4th hero skin for Adora in the form of She-Ra. We've got the heat tip darts and airburst darts as well. You're going to be the sub commander, you're going to be the preemptive strike, and we're going to be the other one that's going to energize our spirits. Ballistic missile, there's not going to be a threat. No, there's not going to be a threat towards getting this whatsoever, because the next one's going to be 1,500 moolah to open the eye back up. Every 10 rounds, the cost increases by 500. Round 35, coming to an end here. Sometimes the ballistic missile goes haywire and goes to the start of the track. I think the programming of the ballistic missile is a bit weird, but I do see why it does it. Because if it's intending to hit a target, but then that target pops, then sometimes the ballistic missile just goes to the very beginning of the track where it knows it's going to hit a balloon. Armor piercing darts. You are still a lonely little 000, but I think it's time to change that to give you some additional range, and we're going to upgrade you up towards airburst darts because we don't need to worry about DDTs with this strategy. Preemptive strike is going to preemptively remove any DDT threats in which we have along the way. How many Ds do you need in DDT? Dark Durable Titan. This might be a controversial opinion, but I think submarines perform much better than buccaneers do. Unless, of course, you're going through the Paragons, and therefore the Navarch of the Seas, its ability to instantly kill a fortified bag, yet you can't really go wrong with that, can you now? And because we are within this eye, permanent camo detection, people. Round 46, 2,000 required in order to unlock this. We'll go with plutonium reactor. This is going to be our means of being able to clear up the thousands of balloons that may make their way into the eye. The Eye of Terror! Even to this day, I still weep a tear every single day about the fall of Cadia. What am I talking about? Cadia still stands! The troops are still alive, fighting the hordes of demons! This is like us right now, fighting against the hordes of demons in the form of heliomic demons that looks like balloons, that thinks they're innocent just because they look like a balloon. But no, the god of Zeech knows that these are demons. Maybe they're not even demons. We get it, okay? We're also going to go to Sub Commander first, because We need the extra Pierce for around 63. 22k for the sub commander. 25k for the Energizer. And I think it's like, it's the most expensive on the Pre-Emptive strike, but it's not that far off when it comes to price-wise. They're all a relatively similar price. Now, it would be tempting to get sub commander, but I don't know how much money I'm going to have left over and how much money I require. Is it 2,500 or 3,000 we need? 2,500? Okay, that was safe to get. And if you would like to be a sub-commander today, then please be sure to hit that subscribe button below the video if you've not done so already, so that you can see videos like this one in the future. And if we ever do hit 100,000 subscribers, I will be releasing a death montage of every single time I have died on the channel to a yellow balloon. Reason why? I die to them a lot, and I like to share the suffering with each and every single one of you that has been on this journey so far with me. Yes, this is not just me, it's you. This is our channel. So how about performing the initiative? Make the first strike capabilities and hit that subscribe button. Destroy it like this destroys early Moabs with the ability. How many more submarine puns can I fit into a single video relating towards this game? I don't know, but it's your choice if you want to subscribe or not. Maybe I need more of your time to decide if I am worthy of being in your subscriptions box. Let's nuke one of these BFBs out of existence. And the eye closes. Luckily, we have more than enough moolah in order to get ourselves out of that pickle. Okay, so 26.5k for Pre-Emptive strike. That's not bad. It's only just under 1,000 more than the Energizer, so they're all relatively similar price. If we play our cards right, this will also be a black border guide to Polyphemus in its new grand glory of definitely being an intermediate map rather than a fake intermediate map. That is actually an advanced difficulty map before it got, well, buffed for us, but nerfed for its ability to hold us off from being able to destroy the balloons. If you're watching this in the future, like 50 years in the future as of the time of this video, then number one, I'm surprised that YouTube is still around, because it's becoming an adpocalypse hellscape where every 5 minutes an advert is decided to play, and paying YouTube Premium just so that I don't see adverts. For goodness sakes, like, we all hate adverts, but for goodness sakes, a business needs to survive off something, and that something for YouTube is adverts. And we all know that adverts ruins the YouTubing experience for each and every single one of us, but it's just a pivotal role for business. Everything is down to business. Everything is down to Mr. Crab philosophy. Round 78, all done and dusted, thankfully, because of the sub-commander's additional pierce for itself and submarines around it. There is like a monkey knowledge, but obviously that's not allowed in chimps because monkey knowledge is prohibited, but it enables the sub-commander's buff to other submarines to be every single submarine on the screen regardless of where it is, sorry. It will always be wet, by the way, because submarines are in water and they will always be wet. So we have a Pre-Emptive strike now. I guarantee this is going to be the star of the show here with the Energizer, probably being the least star-like of all of them. But it's mainly here just to clear up the super ceramics. But there enters the space of this eye. The Eye of Terror! I'm not even going to attempt the Buccaneer trio on this map alone, because I just know for a sheer fact that I will probably need Brickle in order to have some way of guaranteeing damage against DETs, because it's only limited from the planes missiles of the carrier flagship, along with the grape shots, or sorry, the hot shots of the carrier flagship planes, to obviously the hot shots that fires out of the boat itself, to the pirate lords grapes that are hot shots, and the trade empires grapes which are hot shots. very limited capabilities of being able to damage DDTs with the boats nowadays. Back in the day, the carrier flagship had the normal damage type, so you did not need to worry about that. Now, speaking of worry, I'm going to hold off on buying the Energizer just in case we don't have enough money left over, which is not what you want, to not have enough money to open the Eye of Terror back up. Actually, for the Eldar, that would kind of be their saving grace if the Eye of Terror is closed. If I did this video an update earlier, you would probably be laughing at me as to like, well, how the bloody hell can you do that? But nowadays, you can see that it is perfectly doable. We've got 2 of these ZMGs left and all tier 5 submarines purchased. Not gonna use this money at all for anything else besides open up the eye one more time. Yeah, the Pre-Emptive Strike trivializes a lot of runs, because sometimes the only round in which you got to worry about DDTs is round 99. But with Sub Commander as well, there's not a single DDT in which you need to worry about, which is one of the biggest advantages of having the Pre-Emptive Strike. Right, tear all of these down. We'll sync them up so that then hopefully it does a little bit of splash damage against the remaining BFBs on the previous round. Okay, we don't have quite enough damage now to take out these 4 to 5 BFBs, which could be a little bit of a concern. The big word there is could. We'll take all of these BFBs down. The ZMGs, obviously, we have no chance against, but we'll take it up a notch with one of them. Eliminate another one with the ability, which has also been strengthened by the Energizer because it takes less time for the ability to then come back. 320k, yeah, this is definitely the star of the show, and the Energizer sitting still at 6 figures, but probably not going to be, definitely not going to be 7 figures, which is what the Pre-Emptive Strike will most likely get to. And that's the last of our money spent. The money in which we will spend. Okay. How we're going to fare is going to be very, very haphazard. Round 98 is probably going to be the only difficult round, because if they make it past a certain point, it's going to be a point of no return for us. Okay, here we go. Round. This is a good gauge as to how we're going to perform on round 98. Okay. Let those preemptively damage it, and now with that, one of the ZMGs have been heavily damaged and downscaled, and hopefully we can use the rest of this to take out that round, and good. Round 98. Maybe I should just destroyed the fortified ZMG naturally there, but alas, we did what we did, okay? And hopefully we can prevail through this. Okay, let's line this up, do as much damage as possible. Hopefully we've done enough damage here. Oh, they are starting to make their way towards the exit here. Oh, some of them are looking pretty close, but that is game, set, and match. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the Axis of Submarines on Polyphemus. One of the most despised maps when it was introduced, but now a pretty good map, to say the least. We'll wait for that and wait for it to get very low on health for the Pre-Emptive Strike to instantly kill the remainder of the bad there. And with 55k left over, that is pretty nice. See, 3 towers placed. There's nothing in the corners hidden, nothing hidden behind one of these walls or these trees or anything like that. The trees aren't even thick enough with 2 Cs to be able to hide a tower of any kind. Even a piranha won't be able to hide behind one of these. Anyways, perhaps one of the tops of the trees, but there's no beast handler monkeys down here. So let's look at our towers here. Definitely the Pre-Emptive Strike got the most amount of kills here with 1.2 million. Definitely enough for a tactical nuke kill streak. This also has enough for a tactical nuke kill streak. And this is a tactical nuke kill streak looking at the front of a sub. But anyways, the change in Update 48 to Polyphemus really makes it definitely an intermediate map. Like, I can honestly say that this is an intermediate map, not a intermediate map that is actually disguised as a advanced map. This was definitely harder than a lot of advanced maps while being disguised, while being an intermediate map, for goodness sakes. But anyways, that, folks, is Polyphemus and how you can do it with just 3 towers, and you can actually do it with 2 towers nowadays. Like Glaive Lord and Carpet of Spikes, for example. Thank you all so much for watching. Yeah, the 2TC community is stupidly insane when it comes to coming up with combinations on different maps. I don't know how people do it. I don't know how people can spend their time down, dedicate enough time to fathom out these combinations which would otherwise be impossible in other updates, or maybe there are combinations that could be possible in previous updates which have yet to be explored, because nowadays the community is as big as it used to be and is continuously expanding for new players as well to hit the scenes, like new combinations being discovered by people who have entered the scene of the 2TC for the first time. And then there's also people who have got like their 100th 2TC OG combination. I don't know how you do it. In order to get the She-Ra Adora skin, you need to buy the She-Ra Prestige Pack. As you can tell, you also get some Super Monkey Instas as well, including a Sun Temple and a True Sun God. But obviously you can get them better if you give them sacrifices, and the Instas don't have any sacrifices. But if there is a creator support code you'd like to put in to sacrifice your moolah, use Flare Balloons as your creator code. Please, please, I get a slice of a pie. Thank you all so much for watching, everybody. That is entirely optional, by the way. And take care of yourselves, everybody.